and a very warm welcome. Assalamu alaikum, and a very warm welcome to 140th meeting of Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters Club is a place where we provide mutually productive environment where each member gets equal and fair opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence. Before I proceed further, I request all of you to please mute all your notifications. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As it's an online meeting, including me, I request all of you to please turn on your camera so it will be more fun-filled meeting, and keep yourself muted except when you are speaking. Now, I would like to request all of you to please recite the motto of club with me, and that is for better thinking.
For better thinking.
For better thinking.
For better thinking.
For better listening.
For better listening.
For better speaking.
For better speaking.
speaking.
We learn by doing.
We learn by doing.
We learn by doing.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now I would like to hand over meeting to a very powerful, energetic person whom I've learned a lot. Yes, our very own president, Toastmaster Hassan Akram. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia, for a very powerful introduction. I wasn't expecting that. And how are you all doing today?
Great.
Excited. Great.
Nice. Lagta parathe bahut khaye aapne. Good. All right. So sadly, we have to have an online meeting again because of the current ongoing situation. I personally don't like online meetings, but of course, we have to go with the flow. So, we have to do that. Anyways, so let's start our meeting today without wasting a further time. And again, I'm going to start with a story. And after that, I'm going to be announcing few details of the contest coming up. So just get up. So let's start the meeting. So there was once a very wealthy and curious king. The king had a huge boulder placed in the middle of the road. Then he hired himself nearby to see if anyone would try to actually remove that big rock from the road. The first people to pass by were one of the king's wealthiest merchants. Rather than moving it away, they simply walked around it. A few loudly blamed the king for not maintaining the roads. None of them even tried to move that huge rock away. Finally, a peasant came along. His arms were full of vegetables. When he got near the big rock, rather than simply walking around as the others had, the peasant put down his load, tried to move the rock to the side of the road. It took a lot of efforts, but he finally succeeded. The peasant gathered up his load again and was ready to go on his way when he saw a purse lying in the road where the big rock was there. The peasant opened the purse. The purse was full of gold coins and a note from the king. The king's note said the purse gold was a reward for moving that big, gigantic rock from the road. Ladies and gentlemen, we all learned from this story that in life, there are many obstacles, but we can actually turn those obstacles into an opportunity. But the problem is, we all love to live in our comfort zones. We don't want to break that shell around us and do something. We all are surrounded by different gadgets, and basically we are more into our comfort zone. So if we want to do something in life, we have to break that shell and do something which will be beneficial for us and of course for our society as well. With this, I would like to announce that we have our club level table topics and speech evaluation. Both are going to held at the same day. It was going to be a physical meeting where we will be having the speech evaluation and table topic contest. The date is 13th of November. So get ready, break that comfort zone and start preparing for it, because only those will win who will strive hard for it. So with this, I would like to announce the winners of the last meeting. So the best table topic speaker was a very powerful person, of course, myself. So I was the winner. So a round of applause for me. And the best prepared speaker was none other than our entrepreneur, a very passionate Toastmaster Rabia Tariq. So a round of applause for her. The best evaluator award went to one of my favorite evaluators in this whole district, you would say, Toastmaster Atif Naim. So a round of applause for Toastmaster Atif. And the big three award went to our very own ex-president and the director as well, Toastmaster Akash Kumar. So a round of applause for Toastmaster Akash Kumar. I believe we don't have any guest today. Yeah, we don't have. So I would like to hand over the meeting to a very passionate and a very dedicated and person who's full of energy and wants to learn and improve. Is improving in every meeting. With a huge round of applause, none other than Toastmaster Mohammed Sohaib Siddiqui. So, Sohaib Siddiqui, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan, for such a nice and warm introduction. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, let me start the session with one of the simple and basic questions with you. And I want you to be honest. Although we know that we all get failed at some phase of the life, but still we don't want to accept the failure. What could be the possible reason? Please share your thoughts. Anyone?
Excuse me, Toastmaster Sohaib, your voice is not very clear. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
So is my voice audible to all, or is it better now?
So if there is a way to remove this headgear and talk directly, I think that would be a great option because the voice is a little choppy. It's not that clear.
Okay.
Thank you. You're muted. No. Can you speak one more time?
No.
Okay. Sohaib, can you say something? I think we can hear you now. Yeah, it's good now. Perfect now.
Okay. Sorry for the technical glitch. Okay, so just let me again repeat the question for those who haven't heard. So I was saying that although we know that we get failed at some phase of the life, but still we don't want to accept the failure. What are the possible reasons? Anyone, Toastmaster Marina?
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib. Now I can hear your question, and one of the reasons which stop us from accepting the failure could be, I believe, it could be our ego. Our ego does not allow us to accept that we can also fail, we can fall down, we can not be successful. We have a very high self-image of ourselves, and it's difficult to break that barrier and accept that we have failed. This is what I think. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Exactly, Toastmaster Rabia. You are right up to some extent. But let me share my analysis, which I am contemplating since I got this role. So when this is like my personal experiences, which I have, which I am going to share with you. So when we are a kid, we are supposed to go to the school to get education, to equip ourselves to interact with the people, right? So in this process, we learn alphabets A to Z, we learn the numerics 0 to 9, we learn Alif Mada to Choti A. We all learn. But do we get succeed in the first attempt? No. The answer is straight away no. We try to learn the thing, we get fail, we stumble, then we learn, then we stumble. Then ultimately with the constant support of the teachers and the parents, we ultimately learn those alphabets, and now we can communicate them. Now we have got better. Now we can write the emails, we can do a public speaking. But there's one thing, when we are a kid, we are more resilient to the failure. But what happens when we are grown up? We all know deep down in the heart that what are the things that is needed to become a great public speaker? What are the things that is required to get a promotion? It may be that doing an MBA from the prestigious institute, but there's one thing that is stopping you, that the Toastmaster Meena has said rightly, that is ego, because it gives you a feeling insecurities that won't let you to take the action, because of the feeling of being judged by the others. So these are the things that point out, and that is your ego. If you manage to kill your ego, then at least you are one step closer towards your success. So in the first, we just talked about the ego. In the second half, we will try to find the ways that can be beneficial to kill the egos. For the sake of the audience, just let me walk you around the general segments of the Toastmaster. In every meeting, Toastmaster have a 3 segment. The first segment is the table topic session, which is the most scariest session. Whenever I just in physical meeting, I just sit on the seat. I try to avoid having eye contact with the table topic master. So in table topic session, there is a host that randomly call the person, and that person is supposed to speak on a random topic from minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes. This enhances your ability to think on fit, and that makes you successful in day-to-day life. Second session, we have a prepared speeches session in which our passionate Toastmasters share their valuable life experiences through their speeches or delivering on speech on the specific objective defined by the Toastmaster International. And the third and the last session, which is considered to be the heart of the Toastmaster meeting, that is the evaluation session. So before moving further, there are a few role players. Without them, we cannot run the meeting smoothly. Although apparently it seems they are performing the small role, but in my opinion, they are the backbone of the meeting. So I would like to invite the timer to introduce their role. Toastmaster Nair, Toastmaster Rabia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be your timer today. My background colors will be changing accordingly. For table topic, time will be 1 minute, will be between 1 minute to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. For evaluation, time limit is 2 minutes to 2 to 3 minutes. And for speeches, time limit is from 5 minutes to 7 minutes. That's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Sohaib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia, for letting us know the time of the different segments. Next, I would request the grammarian to introduce their role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib. My role is that of the grammarian. I'll be listening carefully to all the speakers, all the evaluators, and I will note down any errors of language, as well as I will note down the use of unique phrases or words, and especially I will note down whether the speakers today use the word of the day, which is integrity. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Sohaib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amina. I would say that grammarian role has made for you, because you are the perfect match for the grammarian. I hope that your report will benefit us in terms of learning new words. Next,
Inshallah.
I request our counter to introduce their roles. Toastmaster Nair. Toastmaster Nair, you are muted.
You're muted.
Hello, can everybody listen to me? Can you hear me?
You're audible.
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you're audible. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib. I will be playing the role of R counter. The purpose of R counter is to note the words and sounds which are filler words and crunch words. For example, if somebody speaks well, and so I will be counting those words, and I will be reporting the number of times each speaker has used these words. Thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nair. The next role is the vote counter, which I am performing. So the role of the vote counter in every meeting, we vote for the best table topic speaker, best evaluator, and the big three. In this regard, I generate the polling link in the chat box option, and you're requested to vote for the best speaker whom you think of each segment after the report of the timer. So as the Toastmaster of the evening, to run the meeting, to take the meeting to the next segment, that is the table topic session, I would like to call the person or hand over the meeting. Although he has joined the Toastmaster just 2 months back, but whenever he get a chance to speak, he has mesmerized us through his confidence. And within no time, I see a great speaker in him. He is none other than Toastmaster Zebul Rahman. Toastmaster Zebul Rahman, are you with us?
I am audible?
Yes, you are audible. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib. I feel really honored. Now let's begin our table topic session. We will continue with our agenda. Your voice matters too. Your words are what you think. So this session will be based on your understanding of the words around you. You all must have heard about Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yes.
He used to say, life is too short to make mistakes and learn from them. So it is better to learn from other mistakes and experience. So in this session, we will try to learn from other mistakes. So let's begin our table topic session. Any volunteers?
Toastmaster Amrina volunteered. Zev, Toastmaster Amrina volunteered.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Zev. So you are sharing your screen and my topic is job or business. What could you choose? So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Right. Thank you very much. So the topic today, which Toastmaster Zev has given me as a table topic master, that is to make a choice, whether to go for a job or to go for business. And I am right now working as an employee. I work for the government of Pakistan. But if it is again in my hand, I would not like to go and work for somebody else. I would like to be an employer myself. I would like to start my own business because more than 2 decades of working for other people made me realize that one should utilize one's talents. If I had spent the same time building up my own business, I'm sure if I hadn't built a huge empire, a business empire, still I would have achieved something substantial. I'm not saying that I haven't achieved something substantial in my job, but still I feel that I would have been more useful for the society had I my own business. Whatever type of business I would have done, I could have become a job giver rather than a job seeker. And if you are working independently as an entrepreneur, I believe you can do miracles. You can do multiple things because you are your own boss. You are not answerable to a boss, and you are not waiting for your salary at the end of the month desperately and budgeting your whole month. In fact, you will be doing this throughout the month and throughout your career. You will be making budgets. You will be implementing those plannings which you have made, which you have thought of. So I believe that I would definitely choose another business, though I don't think so I have any opportunity now, but still there is every possibility. And I would love to go for business. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster Zev.
Zeb, are you with us? Toastmaster Zeb?
Toastmaster Zeb, you need to actually choose a person and then give him a topic. Toastmaster Zeb, are you with us? Toastmaster Zeb, if you're saying something, we are unable to hear you. You're not audible at all.
I'm calling Toastmaster Zeb. Just give me a second.
Okay. As I always say, we have to learn the tech stuff as well.
He is having technical glitches, so he is going to rejoin the meeting again. So meantime, we can discuss something. Meantime, we can discuss more about our theme, I think.
Definitely. Good idea.
Okay. So initially, we just talked about the biggest hurdle in our way to accept the failure was our ego. But what are the best ways that can be used to kill the ego? In my opinion, and the technique that I use, there are 3 methods which I use that is beneficial for me to kill the ego. So if you allow me, then I'm going to share those 3 steps. The first one, that is accepting yourself. Accepting yourself is knowing what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, where you stand for. That somehow when you start, the moment you start accepting yourself, you take a 1 step towards your growth. For example, that you might see a person who is a very great public speaker, and he started your public speaking journey with you, and he just got the achievement. Rather than getting jealous with them, there are two approaches at this point. The first, you can get jealous with him. The second, you can go to him and say, appreciate him and say, what are the ways? How did you manage to be a great public speaker? In this way, you might get a method which you can also improve your public speaking. So attitude, having a right attitude and knowing yourself, these are the 2 things on which you can kill your ego. But third and most importantly, that is having a purpose in the life. For example, sometimes we get confused, we get messed up in the life, we just take something too personal. It may be like not getting a promotion, or it may be that struggling to clear some of the exam, and we just forget to live a life. So I would suggest that take a step back and try to visualize the world. That what are your purpose in this world? Why you are born here in the first place? Maybe that is maybe that X thing is not working for you. You can move towards the Y thing, and from the Y thing, you can make a greater impact on the world. So this how you can kill the ego. I hope that you would have taken the advantage of this. So meantime, let me just check with the Toastmaster Zoeb. Toastmaster Zoeb, have you come back? Toastmaster Zoeb?
Sweb, I asked him to rejoin the meeting because he was having a hard time understanding the voice control because he was using earbuds. So that was creating a problem. He's going to rejoin. He's going to rejoin.
Okay, so meantime, let me just share the ways that you can be a great public speaker, or not a great public speaker. Meantime, I would like to take the opportunity of this time to share the techniques where you can confront or overcome the overthinking. So we often stuck in a problem, for example, that in your career, in your job, that you not get a promotion, or you may have an argument with your team lead, or you might struggle in some of the phase of the life. But one thing that I would say that you can move forward is the self-talk. literally the self-talk, rather than you going towards your teacher, to your manager, to your family members, or maybe somewhere else. He is going to give the same advice that you already know deep down in your heart, but the thing you want to listen from them. So rather than going to with them and showing and having the sympathy of them, try to do a self-talk. That really helps me out in most of the situation in the corporate. I still remember just 4 months back, from my I just lost 4.5 million of the jazz through it was some corporate issues with the Huawei, and I still remember that the thing I did to overcome from the situation. If we have time, I can share that story with you. But meantime, let me check Toastmasters. Zeb, have you come back? Toastmasters Zeb? Okay, so meantime, I would like to hear from you that share the time when you had a failure and what are the ways that you have taken to cope up with that. So I would like to ask Toastmaster Atif.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seb. First of all, I'd like to say it's a very interesting topic. I'm kind of obsessed with this ego thing, because our mind, from the day we are born, it starts creating these models. And the older we get, we start thinking that this model, this persona is who we are. And also society shapes this a lot. Like when we are younger, parents start telling us that this is the particular grade you should have. School system starts indoctrinating us that you should be good in physics or you should be good in this. And our ego becomes really strong, and which is why we become really afraid of crucifying it. And that's where fear comes from, that our ego doesn't get hurt. That persona that we have does not get hurt. And we need to realize that that persona is just the way our mind works. Actually, we are very spontaneous, very free, very light. Like when we are children, we can do anything, be anyone in any moment. And failure is actually just stepping stones to where you need to go. It's a very important part of you. One of my favorite philosophers, Alan Watts, once said, the good and the bad, the success and the failure in your life is the perfect recipe for you to reach your soul's purpose. And it's just this ego that our society perpetuates on children, especially, that after a while we just become scared of failures when it is absolutely nothing. It's just another way to reach where we are supposed to reach, where our awareness or our soul is supposed to reach. And ego is just an enemy of that. So yeah, it's an amazing topic. And I would just say that we need to minimize the sense of self that we deserve to be this or we deserve to be that, because this is not how life works. We need to trust life and just go through the process and trust the process. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Exactly, Toastmaster Atif, well said, that we need to keep our ego aside to attain, to get something in a life. Because one of the philosophers has said rightly, we are defined by the story that we tell ourselves. So if we start keeping ourselves, okay, we are good, we cannot get fail. So the moment the failure hit you, you collapse. And you will see that in that moment, you go to the psychiatrist, you have a responsibility and you don't perform at the time. So it is how we are being raised. So from the childhood, if we are being told that, okay, we need to take the things, okay, this is a game. This is a life. You can be successful, you can be fail at the same time, but you have to actually we in the school we are not being taught how to deal with the failure, because there is no concept exists in the school. So we just always strive to get a first position, to get a great public speaker, to go to the top of the ladder. But what about the others? Maybe that you are not good in the public speaking, you are good in the technical, you are a good engineer. So society needs you. You can also perform your role. You can also perform your role about and contribute towards the society. Ultimately, it's how you just. I think it's like the maturity also come at the same moment. Its maturity is like you realize, okay, you are the one. Even you are a great public speaker. I just giving example. There were 100 before you who were great public speaker. There were 100 after you that will be great public speaker, and there are 100 around the world who are a great public speaker. You are no more. You need to say
Audible?
yourself. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Toastmasters. Okay.
Actually,
So
I have
let me conclude. So we need to keep our ego aside to get successful. So Toastmasters Zaid, hopefully the technical glitch is resolved, and over to you.
but I
Zaid?
am not able. Hello, but I am
Yes,
not
yes.
able to share my PowerPoint slide with you.
It's okay. You can actually verbally say the topic. You don't have to share the slide. That's okay.
Okay, okay. Any volunteer for the next topic?
You can choose this time.
Toastmasters to
Toastmasters Wave. Okay.
Gold, then would you like to live as your ancestors lived 100 years ago?
Toastmasters Zaid, can you repeat your topic? Toastmasters Zaid. Have anyone heard the question? So they can.
Yeah, I read the question. So
Okay.
if old is gold,
Okay.
would you like to live like your ancestors lived?
Okay, thank you, Toastmasters Abel Rahman, for giving me an opportunity to speak on this topic. So my personal opinion would be like, if I were given a chance to live what my ancestor used to live, because at that time, the way of living would be there was no internet, there was getting education or thinking to have education abroad. It's used to seem a big dream, but now the challenges have changed. Now we have got a more problem, for example, that green emission gases. So if I were given a chance to live with the ancestor live, then at least I'm not equipping myself to solve the present solution to present problem. So what I can say that in that present moment, the what I have grown up as a person, so I would like to contribute myself what I have learned from these ages. The problem I'm more aware with them, so I can contribute the better towards the society. So if I used to live with the ancestor, at least then I will be like nullified, or I cannot be no use of no more. So I would like to live the way that we used to live, and I would like to solve the problem of the United Nations. Like 2030, we have to cut down the emission by 70%. We, like Imran Khan said in the last speeches, that we have to introduce electric vehicle. 30% vehicle will be electrified. So I think that this is the thing you can do. So over to you, Toastmasters Zaid.
Toastmaster Suhaib. That was a wonderful speech. I am audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay, next, now we have a next speaker, Toastmaster Ravia. Toastmaster Ravia, you are with us?
Yes, I'm here.
So Toastmaster Ravia, your topic is, which one is a good leader? A confident one or a competent one?
Thank you, Toastmasters Zabe. Fellow Toastmasters, my question is, which is a better leader, a confident one or a competent one? In my humble opinion, these two qualities are very important for a person to grow. A confident person will be able to know what he is doing and how he has to do, and he'll excel. And at the same time, a competent person, competency is required. But in my humble opinion, a competent person will excel. If a person is competent, he knows what he is doing. At the end of the day, even if he's not confident enough, he'll get the confidence. We as humans have we gain confidence through our competence. So I think competence gives you confidence. A person who is not competent enough will not be confident enough. So that's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Zabe.
Toastmaster Zabe, unmute yourself.
Toastmaster Hussain, Hussain, you are with us?
Yeah, he is.
Yes, I'm here.
Toastmaster Umar, your topic is advice for a 22 years old boy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dave. Question given to me is advice for 22 years old boy. Okay. I think this topic really relates to me because I have a son very close to this age, and I would say that what I've learned from my experience is that the best thing you can advise to a boy of this age is that try to be a good human being. Don't, I would never force any judgment on the way he chooses about his studies. And because when parents force their own idealism on their child, they get confused. I remember 5 years back, I was planning and I wish that my son could be an architect. And I asked him to take the classes as per architecture. And he took the classes. He started his education on that pattern. But later on, I realized that he was not doing well. I spoke to him and we discussed, and he openly told me that I want to do something different. I like fashion designing. And that was something not common in our country. But I admitted, I said, okay, if you want to do, you can do it. And at the age of 18, he started that and he excelled so much that by the time he was 20, he had his own brand online and he was working really well. That 10 years back, we couldn't imagine someone doing the business at this age. So I will advise all this age that do what you have a passion for and follow that. Make that as a career. If you want to do anything like you want to play cricket, as we now see people are doing so good in cricket and they have different professions, they change it. So go with your passion. That's my advice to that age children. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar Hussain. Toastmaster Atif, you are with us?
Yes, Toastmaster Seb.
If you are given a ministry for happiness today, how would you deal with all the sadness in the world?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Seb, for giving me such a big responsibility. If I was in charge of the Ministry of Happiness, how will I cure all the sadness? If I look at the world nowadays, you know, we have a lot of ways to connect, Facebooks, Instagram, Zoom, but I think people are more sad and lonely now. And I think there's something that we missed, you know, there's something profound about naturally connecting with people. Not through Facebook, not judging their profile, because on Facebook, it's always the good bits. You know, they never share their down bits. And that is what connects with people. When I meet someone who are vulnerable, who I can see their flaws, it makes me feel like I can relate with them. And that kind of thing gives you inspiration, gives you happiness. That's when true bonds and true friendships are made. That's how you cure your loneliness and your sadness. When you meet real, genuine people, when you see their genuine stories. So my cure for sadness would be we need to balance our social media, personal branding kind of life and have a more natural approach again. You know, encourage people to be more genuine, to share their vulnerabilities as well, to share their downsides as well. Like we do in many Toastmaster speeches, I like that people share when they were down and how they got up. Even do that in social media, even do that in your personal brand. Show your downside as well. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us connect. And when we see more of this, when we see more of genuine connections, instead of this fake connections that we have nowadays, maybe it's just me, I don't know. We feel more like we belong. We feel more like we are part of something, and that cures sadness, that we are all one in the same boat and we have very similar experiences. I think that would be the best way to cure sadness, is encourage people to be more genuine, more vulnerable, more empathetic, and more loving. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Zeb, I would like to go next. I volunteer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Atif. So we have another volunteer. Toastmaster Hassan, your topic is, what is the biggest regret of your life?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zeb, for giving me a topic which is the biggest regret of my life. Well, that is a recent activity which I would like to share. So when I got married, I don't have the bike, I don't have the car, because I don't know how to drive these vehicles. So eventually with time, I learned how to drive a car, how to drive a motorbike, and I got bike and car as well. And 2 years back, I got a car, my first car, which was automatic car, because I don't know how to ride a manual car. So I went for an automatic version. But guess what? After spending 2 years with that beauty, which I love, few days back, my brother actually sold his car, and he said that, Hassan, I want to use your car because my car would be delivered in the month of Jan. I said, okay, that's fine. You can share, because I'm working from home these days, so that's okay. When he actually used my car, he kind of liked it, and he offered me that, would you like to sell this car? I was not in the mood to sell this car, but he was very sharp. He understands that it's a good car, and I am unable to find this good car in market. So the very next day, when we had a deal, he offered me the amount. He gave me a cash and said the car is mine. I was like, okay, I will add some money and get a new car. But guess what? It's been 2 months. I'm not getting a car. I'm without a car. And that's the biggest regret of my life, that why I sold my car to my brother, that I am without a vehicle these days. I have to borrow a car from Umbrina. I have to borrow a car from people in my street. I'm unable to actually take my family for fun, and my kids are home for the past 2 weeks. But I put a food from outside, bring them home, and said, eat this. This is our party now. So that's the biggest regret of my life, that I sold my car 2 months back. So those who are listening, please help me get a new car if you know anyone. Thank you. Over to you, Zaid.
That was guest Toastmaster Hassan. Toastmaster Nair, you are with us?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
If you are given another life, how would you live it?
Thank you, Toastmaster Zeb, for giving me such an interesting topic. The topic is, if I am given another life, how will I live it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think if I am given another life, I will try to use it more effectively. I will try to waste less of my time. I will try to choose a career and work on it perfectly. And my hobby is to read books. While doing this job, which I'm doing, I get less of the time. I will trying to find a job in which I can get more time to read the books and learn more stuff. And maybe, as Ms. Sabrina was talking, I will try to do a business in which I have to give less of the time, so that I can give more time to my hobbies. Or maybe I would choose a business around my hobbies, so that I can enjoy it and I can also make a living out of it. I think this is what I'll do. And I will try to spend more time with my family, which I am unable to these days. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nair. Toastmaster Anam is with us. Toastmaster Anam?
Yes, I am here.
Toastmaster Anam, your topic is, how do you define success?
How do you define?
Success.
The topic is, how do you define success?
All right. It's very interesting topic, and you have given me that how do you define success? So maybe for me, the definition of success is different. For you, the definition of success is different, right? So in fact, what is success? Success is you want to accomplish something, you want to achieve something, whatever is your aim. If you accomplish that aim, it means you consider yourself that you are a successful person. For a teacher, success is that he or she has delivered her lecture, whatever he wanted to deliver. And for a student, the success is to get good grades. For a businessman, success is something different. A businessman want to market, want to get profit, because we are living in a consumer society. In the same way, for a mother, for a housewife, what is success? For her, the success is to make everyone happy, to cook something delicious so that everyone could appreciate her, right? So this is how the definition of success, it differs from person to person. And when we achieve something, we feel so happy. So when we feel happy, so what happens at that time? So at times our happiness, it is rooted in the pains of other. You are happy, you are celebrating your success, but there is someone else who is suffering. For example, if you scored 100 out of 100 and you are celebrating your success, but might be in your class, there is someone else who scored might be 30 or 40 marks, right? So this is how your success or your happiness at time, it is rooted in the pains of other. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nair. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anam. I think we are done with everyone.
Yes, we can. Zeb can.
Yes. Now we will move on to our next session. So I will hand over the meeting to the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Suhaib. Toastmaster Suhaib, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmasters Abel Rahman, for conducting such a table topic session in such a professional way. Although there were some technical glitches, but the way you handled was phenomenal. So now I would request to take the report from the timer. Either all the speakers are qualified, so we can vote for the best table topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib. Yes, all the speakers have qualified.
Can you take the name of the speaker so I can just generate the link?
Yes, sure. Toastmaster Amrina. Should I give the time as well, or just the names?
Just the name.
Toastmaster Amrina, Toastmaster Sohaib, Toastmaster Rabia, Toastmaster Umar, Toastmaster Atif, Toastmaster Hassan, Toastmaster Nair, and Toastmaster Anam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia, for your report. Fellow Toastmaster, meantime, you will just get the link for the to vote for the best table topic speaker. Meantime, let's go for a 10 minutes networking break or maybe prayer break. So we will just write back at 5:35.
Okay. So meanwhile, share the polls and we can vote meanwhile.
Awards. Okay. So before moving further, I request to the members, please vote for the best table topic speaker, because so far I have received 4 votes only. So again, formally welcome back from the prayer break. I hope that so far you would have enjoyed the session and would have taken the advantage that how to kill your ego. So now it's the time to move toward the second segment, that is prepared speeches session. So for the first speaker, I'm going to call the person who is very energetic and dynamic, and he has always shared his valuable life experiences through his speeches. And he's already at the director level, and I see a great corporate leader in him. So before him, I request Toastmaster Amrina, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Umar Hussain. Can you please read the objective of Toastmaster Umar's speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster Sohaib. I will be evaluating Toastmaster Umar, and he will deliver a speech for his project 2 of level 2, And the purpose of his speech is, since his pathway is leadership development, so the purpose of his speech is to identify his primary leadership style or styles. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Suhaib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Marina. Over to you, Toastmaster Umar, and best of luck for your speech.
I was sitting next to the Excellency, one of the African ambassadors, along with a large group of business delegation. I was trying to be the moderator of the meeting, first time ever. As just day before this event, the president of Chamber of Commerce, newly elected, asked me, Mr. Omar, would you like to be the master of ceremony for tomorrow's event? I know you can do it. Okay, President, I will do it. Not having any prior experience of conducting such a meeting, I was excited but also nervous. I decided to memorize everything, the welcome note and introduction of the guests, but I also made a small note on a piece of paper and kept that in my pocket just in case if I forget anything. Now the meeting was about to start. All the guests had arrived and there was silence in the boardroom. They were expecting me to say something. At that moment, I realized that I forgot everything. My mind went blank. All I remember, I was holding a desk-mounted mic in front of me and I didn't know how to start, what to say. I spoke for less than 2 minutes and handed over the meeting to the president. President looked at everyone, smiled and said, Jumbo. And there was a moment, the whole atmosphere of the room changed. All the guests got excited, started smiling. And while they were attentive towards the president, Jumbo is, by the way, is hello in Southeast African countries. I took advantage of that moment. I just took out the note from my pocket and started reading what to do next. That day, when I went home, I was so much inspired by the confidence of the president, the way he gained all the attention of all the guests. I decided that I must improve my public speaking skills. I started looking for the options, and luckily I found about around 20 Toastmasters Club. Since that day till today, I'm a proud member of RTC. The next day at the chambers, president came to me and said, Mr. Omar, you did so well. And there is another meeting coming in 2 weeks. I know you'll do much better. Okay, Mr. President, yeah, I'll do better. Thanks to the nerve-wracking table topic sessions of the RTC, I did much better in the next meeting. Chamber of Commerce is a place where business leaders come. They are being elected every year to represent the business community. And I would like to ask you all, have you heard about John C. Maxwell? Yeah, all Toastmasters know he's a great author and a leader. He describes the leadership about influence, nothing more, nothing less. And the way our president encouraged me, motivated me, is the best example that how a great leader positively influences people around them. I remember that when I was a student, I've taken all sorts of courses, chemistry, physics, mathematics. Even I went to astrology, history of arts, but the speech communication was the toughest class for me because I always had a fear of public speaking. It was difficult for me to come on stage and present a case in front of my classmates. I always had that in my mind, something that I lack on this. I made a good career in accounts and finance. Then I switched to marketing and sales. And that time I realized I really need to work on this. The Chamber of Commerce president, the impact that he had on me really encouraged me to work on myself. And I realized the importance of personal growth. Ladies and gentlemen, as I was mentioning, the Chamber of Commerce business corporate executives come and work for their community. But since now in today's world, it's really difficult to compromise and sacrifice your personal times and work for the community. And this platform has become a ceremonial for years. But this year, Chamber was able to create a history. 35 years after its creation, Chamber has done so much within 1 year that it was not able to do in the last 30 years, just because of one leader. A dynamic leader came at the Chambers, and on the very first day, he presented us the list of objectives that he wanted to achieve. His vision was so compelling that all members immediately said, yes, we need to work on this track. The list was so long, but I will just share a couple of things. The first thing he mentioned that we need to create a desk at the Chambers because we just don't need to work only for the business. We also need to work for the future businesses. So the people who will come and join the business like students, because students are graduating every year, but they don't find internships. We need to place a desk at the Chambers where we find and hire 5 interns, permanent basis. They will be looking for new graduates every semester and will find internships among the business community that is right there, our members. That was really a good point. The next, you mentioned that we need to arrange business exhibitions because these expos generate businesses. I joined Chamber of Commerce with a vision of giving back to the community. There is no financial gain or salary for any members, but I've gained so much confidence. I've learned so much. And on top of that, I was able to meet this amazing community of Toastmasters. My joining RTC was not more than any amount of money would ever give. But this all was possible just because of the leadership. The impact the leadership had on me, and imagine how much the impact would be on other people. There are thousands of members of Chamber, and the one leader who has been communicating with everyone on different forums. Imagine the trickle down effect. Chamber of Commerce made 40 million rupees this year, though it's a non-profit organization. But there was so much being done that profit was made, and it's what historic. We distributed all the money for the social causes, and that was a great achievement. And that's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar Hussain, for delivering and sharing his valuable life experiences. The reason that you joined the Toastmaster to improve the public speaking, by now I can see that in the span of 1 year, you improved a lot. And literally, it seems like to be a professional public speaker. So moving on, I think we only have 2 speakers today, right? Yeah. So moving towards the second speech, that is going to be delivered by the person personally whom I respect because of the cause that he's working, because he's creating positivity and influencing a young generation to equip them with the public speaking, communication, leadership skills. And personally, if I wish when I was young in a college, somebody like Toastmaster Humayun would have just mentored me in order to have a better speaker and better communicator. So his speech is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Hassan Akram. So I request Toastmaster Hassan to share the objective of his speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shoaib. The purpose of his speech is to determine the style of humor and apply it to a speech that centers around a central message. So over to you. Good luck, Toastmaster Humayun.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan. Toastmaster Humayun, virtual stage is yours, and best of luck for your speech. You are muted, Toastmaster Humayun.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. As you know that we are always learning. So there are different ways to learn different things. But here, I'm just going to expose one particular way that I feel that we need to adopt in our life. I am Humayun Kiani, delivering my speech in Rawalpindi Toastmaster Club. So my today's topic is the best way to learn. First of all, I would like to all of you just give me your point of view about this particular title. What is the best way of learning? Yes, Toastmaster Hassan.
The best way to learn is to learn from people around you, learn from your experiences, learn from each other's experiences. So that's how you learn.
Okay, this is my speech, but you have started delivering your speech. Okay, well done. But it's a good reply. Thank you. So there are many ways to learn, but here I'm going to just focus upon asking questions. We learn most of the time by asking questions. I have taken this particular way from my kid. Just his name is Ismail. He is always asking different questions, and I have seen that he is learning very much. Whenever he is going to ask any question, I have to give a special answer to him. So in this way, he is going to absorb the knowledge which I am giving to him. So in this way, I feel that if we want to improve our lives, so we need to ask questions. So in this speech, I'm not going to deliver anything, but I am just going to engage all of you by asking different questions so that we may learn what are the different ways of asking questions and how we can improve our question formation ability. So it is rightly said that the worst question is the one which you have never asked. So the best way to learn is to ask questions. So yesterday I was searching on internet. So I was going through a word freak. So I have learned the word gym freak over there. So who is the gym freak in our Rawalpindi Toastmaster Club?
Obviously, Toastmaster Hassan.
Yes. The second one which I have learned from that research is clean freak. So who is going to say about himself or herself that he or she is clean freak?
Toastmaster Umar, I think.
Okay, yeah. Toastmaster.
He raised his hand.
I gave that title to my missus because when I was searching, she was sitting beside me. So I felt that this is the right time to give her this title. So after that, I was looking for some words which I can relate with myself. And I wanted to apply the word freak with that particular terms which I want to use for myself. So I was consistently and continuously contemplating, reflecting upon myself, what are the words which I can attach with myself. But it was really surprised to me. So I was thinking, then I suddenly thought about Toastmaster, where we are going to deliver our speeches. So we are going to become public speakers. So I thought that I need to attach the word speaker with myself. So I wrote down the word, typed down the word speaking freak. So could you guess what was over there? Was the reply in Urdu language? Can you translate the word speaking freak in Urdu? Any one of you?
I think it is Batuni.
Batuni.
Oh, actually, there was a word which I really like, and my whole family really liked that word. That was bolne wala pagal. So I was really happy that the word which I have written there, it is really reflecting my personality, as I am always fond of talking. So after that, I was again thinking about myself, what would be the new word for me that I can attach with myself. So after giving my attention upon it, so I thought that, yes, I was involved and I would be involved in training. So I thought that I needed to add the word training with freak. So I used the term training freak. So would you like to let me know what is the translation of training freak in Urdu? Any one of you? Okay. There was another interesting word, that was Tarbiti Pagal. Training freak means Tarbiti Pagal. So I thought that, oh yes, this is a word which I'm looking for. Yes, I am always going mad whenever I have to speak, I have to deliver my session. So in these two words, I have come to know that whenever we are going to ask question anyone from any source, so we are going to get certain kind of knowledge which can really help us in improving our personality. So one more question which I have for all of you is that, do you like what you do in your life? Are you in love with what you do in your life?
Yes.
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 Okay. Though the answer which I learned from my mentor is wonderful. He says that if not, then you are not playing. You are only working. So I have got to know that whenever we are going to enjoy our process, our work, so we need to play. We need to work at play. In this way, we are going to get engagement in our work. Otherwise, we will get disturbed. So the last question which I have for all of you is that all of you are outstanding guys. Are you outstanding guy? Okay, everyone thinks that just I am outstanding. So I am just going to let you know about one of the stories which I found in my class. So my teacher asked me that you are an outstanding guy. So I asked how? I'm not getting good marks. I'm not doing anything good. So he says that you always stand outside the class. So that is why you are an outstanding guy. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Humayun, for delivering such a wonderful speech and highlighting the importance of asking the question, and that could be the major breakthrough in our career. So moving on, let's enter to the third set. Before moving further, I request the timer to share his report. Either all speakers are qualified.
Yes, all the speakers have qualified.
Okay, so meantime, I just generate the link of the speaker who qualified. So now it's the time for the session that is considered the heart of the Toastmaster meeting. So because one has said rightly that good isn't good enough if it can be better, and better isn't good enough, it can be best. In this motto, I would like to hand over the meeting, the person who carries a persona, whenever he get a chance to speak, he connect with the audience through his content, through his body language. And secondly, whenever he just visit another club, he makes the RTC proud. He's none other than Toastmaster Atif. Over to you, Toastmaster Atif.
Thank you, Toastmaster Soeb. That was a very kind and generous introduction. I'll be your general evaluator for this evening, and I don't think I need to tell all of us how important feedback is, because we are all Toastmasters member, and this is how we have grown in our journey in Toastmasters. Just like Toastmaster Soeb said, in order to manage your ego, the first step is to accept yourself. Another important step, I believe, is to accept feedback. Feedback is, your ego will try to stop feedback because it doesn't make you feel good that you have something missing from you. But feedback is very important in order to grow. And that is what this session gives you. It gives you feedback in order for us not only to grow in public speaking, but also in conflict management, conflict resolution, impromptu speeches, relationships. It has helped me a lot, this kind of feedback. And so this session is very important, and I'm very excited today because we have some amazing evaluators in this session. So without further ado, I would like to call each evaluator to evaluate a table topic session. Is a brilliant table topic speaker herself. She will be evaluating today's table topic speakers. With a huge round of applause, welcome to the virtual stage, Toastmaster Anam Ilyas.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Atif. I have listened all table topic speakers and I have evaluated their speeches. So now I would go and individually talk about each speaker. Our first table topic was Toastmaster Amrina. Toastmaster Amrina talked about business, job or business, what would you choose? She handled the topic quite dexterously. She used hand gestures and she was quite calm while presenting her ideas with clarity of mind. A great job, Toastmaster Amrina. Just like you, I have many ideas, business ideas, but unfortunately, I have never ever executed them. Maybe someday I may drop in your cabin and we may discuss our ideas. I think there are no areas of improvement. She is the best when it comes to speaking or teaching. Our next table topic speaker was Toastmaster Sohaib. Toastmaster Sohaib talked about old is gold. He was quite fluent while talking and he used hand gestures, but at times overuse of hands shows that we are nervous and it depicts our restlessness. Overall, he exhibited great aura and executed it with full confidence. And he also attacked the topic. Our third speaker was Toastmaster Rabia. And Toastmaster Rabia, while talking, she took pauses and she gave a balanced viewpoint on the given topic. Because her camera was off or might be some technical issues, I couldn't notice her body language, but her content and voice quality was excellent. Our fourth speaker was Toastmaster Umar. Toastmaster Umar talked about advice for a 22 years old boy. He narrated his parenting style. He was quite enthusiastic and he concluded a story with moral. I would just like to recommend him be dynamic in your table topic, like you showed your energy and enthusiasm while delivering your speech. Our fifth speaker was Toastmaster Atif. Toastmaster Atif talked about how to deal with sadness. So what I really loved about his speech was his appropriate language. He used hand gestures quite appropriately, and he handled topic quite philosophically. But I would recommend him that when he started his speech, he was stroking his beard. We all know you are confident, but still it gives us an impression that you are nervous. Our sixth speaker, Toastmaster Hassan. Toastmaster Hassan talked about biggest regret. Toastmaster Hassan's body language and content was exquisite. It was a story with proper beginning, middle, and end. He followed proper structure. And his language was quite emotive. He incorporated sadness and he showcased that sadness with emotion and through facial expression as well. He ended his speech with a request. And Toastmaster Hassan, we would love to help you out in this journey. Overall, it was a mesmerizing story. Our seventh speaker was Toastmaster Nair. I like the way Toastmaster Nair handled the topic. He really looked confident and calm. I would like to recommend him to focus on body language and don't be static, right? So when you are dynamic, when you are using your body language, so these points would add value to your speech. Our last speaker was Toastmaster Anam. So Toastmaster Anam didn't turn on her camera. So I would like to recommend her to turn on her camera next time. Overall, it was quite interesting session. I enjoyed all speakers. They came up with different stories and I learned from each and every speaker. So we all are talking right from the comforts of our home. So, some of us didn't turn on the cameras, including me. So next time we all try to turn on our cameras. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Atif.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anam. That was a very perceptive evaluation, and I like you gave equal attention and time to each speaker. Now, moving on, our next speaker was Toastmaster Umar, who gave a brilliant speech, and his speech will be evaluated by not only is she a teacher outside RTC, I feel like now she's a teacher in RTC as well. She's RTC's unofficial teacher. So with a huge round of applause, welcome to the virtual stage, Toastmaster Amrina Qayyum.
Thank you, Toastmaster Atif. And first of all, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Umar for delivering such a brilliant speech. Mashallah, it was superb. It was excellent. I think I'm short of adjectives for using for that speech. And I remember some months back when I newly joined Toastmasters Club, I found Toastmaster Umar told me that he was very reluctant and hesitant to speak, but I found him speaking excellently well in all the speeches he has delivered in past few months. Mashallah, a wonderful improvement, Toastmaster Umar. And I remember twice Toastmaster Umar delivered superb speeches, but unfortunately he could not manage to qualify because of time. This time, Alhamdulillah, he managed to qualify because he limited his speech within the given time. Now, coming to Toastmaster Umar's speech, before the session actually began formally, we were just chit-chatting, and I said that I'm quite comfortable sitting and speaking to the audience on the virtual stage, whereas, and Toastmaster Umar at that time supported my point of view. But then Toastmaster Hassan, he threw a challenge and he said, well, I'll show you people how to stand and deliver a speech. And hats off to Toastmaster Umar that he immediately implemented what Toastmaster Hassan was saying. He stood and he delivered his speech, and this was the strength of the speech, that standing and delivering the speech, nowhere I felt he was using the virtual stage. Throughout the speech, I felt as if he was standing in front of me at the stage, and he was using his whole body. He was speaking with his whole body. He was using his hands. He was using his eyes. He was using even his feet. He was moving around. So one of the best things in the speech was how he used his body language to speak. His gestures were immaculately precise. They were very appropriate. Then his whole body was going with what he was saying. So far as the content of the speech is concerned, it was not at all typical copy-pasted content. It was very original, superb content. And the beginning of the speech was such that we could all relate with it. And throughout the speech, twice, he performed the role play. He acted out the dialogues which he exchanged with his with the president. And then he gave us his role model of leadership. So very effective opening, very well organized content, superb body language. Okay? And then the whole, I'll repeat the word used by Toastmaster Anam, the whole aura which you shared was excellent. Hats off to you. Okay? Thank you very much. And over to you, Toastmaster Atif.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrina. That was a very insightful evaluation and a lot of good points as well. Our next speaker was an outstanding speaker, Toastmaster Humayun, and his speech will be evaluated by a person who does not only have an outstanding body, but an outstanding body language as well. So without further ado, welcome to the stage our President, Toastmaster Hassan Akram.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Atif. Every time people are introducing me in a different way, and I love that. Thank you so much. All right, so today I'm going to evaluate the speech of our YouTube and Facebook sensation, none other than Toastmaster Humayun. Well, whenever I hear this word Humayun, I always think of a funny story, because now, since he has been doing a lot of speeches in the past, a humorous speech, and his pathway is also humorous. So basically, he has got the image of actually delivering funny speeches, and he's pretty good at it. So just like today, he actually delivered a very good speech. It was full of humor. And the topic of his speech was the best way to learn. And when he asked me a question, I was under the impression it is going to be a very speech which is going to be very serious. But when he answered, I wasn't expecting that he will say that this is my speech, why are you delivering it? So that was the best way to actually engage the audience with the humor in it. So that was really good. I loved it, the way he actually engaged. And the good part about his speech was he threw out the speech, put different questions to the audience. He engaged the audience overall, so that if someone is not attentive, he or she would get attentive because he's throwing questions on us. So that was a great speech. Now, of course, every speech has got 5 to 6 elements. Number 1, parity. Number 2, vocal variety. Number 3, eye contact. Number 4, gestures. Number 5, comfort level. And number 6, according to his speech, humor. These are the list which I see in the form, so I thought to talk about it. So talking about the clarity, his voice was very clear. I could clearly listen to what Humayun was saying. When it comes to vocal variety, I believe he could have played with the tone because his tone was actually monotone. So he could have done something better with the tone because in speech you have to act. It's not just a speech. You have to actually give a performance. Eye contact was good. He was constantly looking at the camera, but sometimes when after asking questions, I observed he was looking down. So that can be improved. His hand gestures I could see, but I would highly recommend everyone to, when you're doing a speech, always stand up, because when you're standing, you produce a lot of energy from your legs. But when you are sitting, of course, you're in a comfort zone. And as I said in the start of the meeting, you need to break that comfort zone. So that is something which you need to break, not the chair, but the comfort zone. And he was very comfortable while delivering the speech. Comfort level was amazing. Humor was there. And the best thing is that whenever he is delivering a speech, humor is always there. I would say he is, if you have heard about Tabish, the comedian, he's Tabish of RTC. So it was a great speech. I'm looking forward for such great speeches in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan, for sharing the criteria as well as your evaluation on the criteria. I'm sure it's very helpful for all members. Now, before I move forward, timer, have all the evaluators qualified?
Yes, all the evaluators have qualified.
Can you name them?
Yes, Toastmaster Anam as a table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Amrina, and Toastmaster Hassan.
Okay, Toastmaster Sohaib will be uploading the poll and you guys can vote for your favorite evaluator. Now, with that, I would like to call our role players to give their reports one by one. For the first role, I would like to call our grammarian for today. That's Toastmaster Amrina Kiyum. You're muted, Toastmaster Amrina.
Realized it. I've just realized. Thank you, Toastmaster Atif. And let me quickly share some of the observations which I made during the 140th meeting of Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club today. There were a few language errors which I'll point out. Maybe they're just slip of tongue. For instance, one speaker said that was telling about something which happened in the past and said, he hid himself. He hid himself. We should use the past tense. Then one of the speakers said that the XYZ role player, please introduce their role. It's actually thinking in Urdu and speaking in English. It should be introduce his role or introduce her role. Then one of the speakers said that he has joined 2 months ago. When we are referring to time, if we are particularly referring to time, we should use simple past tense. So he joined 2 months ago. Okay. Then one more linguistic error I noted, and I feel I should share it, that please don't say that take the name, say mention the name. Okay. Take the name is again literal translation from Urdu, naam le lo, okay, naam le le. It should be mentioned the name of the speaker or the evaluator. But today's meeting, I really enjoyed because there was a lot of variety of superb, really interesting and very useful expressions. While listening to Toastmaster Umar, whose evaluator I was, and I was listening to him very, very carefully, he talked about the table topic session and he said the nerve-wracking table topic session. I really like that expression. It is nerve-wracking because you are quite tense when you are participating in it. Then he used another expression, compelling vision of his boss, which impressed him. So it's also very useful expression, compelling vision. And then I love the evaluation done by Toastmaster Anam. She used variety of words in her evaluation of table topics. Like he used the word dexterously, which is a replacement for the word expertly, very cleverly, very sensibly, very effectively. He also uses the expression exhibited great aura. I really enjoyed listening to that. Then she used the expression for Toastmaster Hassan, that he used very emotive language, okay, and roused our emotions. And he also used the expression he showcased, he presented. I really love all these expressions, and I'm sharing them with you with the hope that somewhere you're going to share them. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Atif.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrina. I was right. You are like RTC's teacher, and that was that was a very brilliant lesson, I would say. Our next role player is the R counter. Toastmaster Nair, can you give your report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Atif. My role was R counter. In the table topic session, Toastmasters Amrina, Toastmaster Suhaib, Rabia, Umar, Atif, Hassan, Nair, and Anna participated. And Toastmaster Umar used so one time, and Toastmaster Hassan also used so one time. During the prepared speeches session, Toastmasters Umar and Toastmaster Humayun participated, but I was not able to find or count any crunch word or any filler word. During the evaluation session, Ms. Amrina, Mr. Hassan Akram participated, and I was not able to find any or listen any crunch word or filler word. But when Ms. Toastmaster Amrina was explaining her grammarian evaluation, she used 4 to 5 times. And this is all from my side. Thank you, Toastmaster Atif.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nair, for sharing the word as well as the count. That's very helpful for speakers. Our next role player is the timer. Toastmaster Rabia, can you give your report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Atif. Unfortunately, there are no timing disqualifications. All the speakers follow the timing time limit, and there are no time disqualifications. Should I take the names and report them?
I think it's okay. I think we can finish it there. Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia, for a very brief report. I can see many young Toastmasters are showing up in our screen, so I'll try to keep this short, keep my evaluation of the meeting short. We were a little late on time, but I think it was okay. It wasn't that late. I really like the topic that our Toastmaster of the evening chose. It's was very beneficial, and I liked how everyone got involved in it, because it's something that everyone has to deal with. So it was a brilliant topic by Toastmaster of the evening. I like how he conducted the entire session. We had many technical glitches, and he always came in to rectify them. Whenever there was a technical glitch, he, as a host, did his duty to kind of smooth those cracks over. So that was a brilliant way you played the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Sahib. The table topic master, very, very interesting topics. Confidence versus competent leader, or job versus business, really makes you think. Those choice-based questions really make you think. So that were very intriguing questions. I also liked how we shuffled roles amongst ourselves, because some role players were absent, and that shows a good spirit that we have in order to conduct our meetings. Now, in order for improvements, I would like to say that sometimes we need to have online meetings. It's not ideal. I personally love physical meetings, but we have to be prepared for them. You know, if you are a little unsure about how online meetings would play and you have a significant role or even a normal role, come 15 minutes earlier and check your slides or check your microphone, check your video as well. It makes the online meeting go more smoothly. Just a recommendation to all the role players involved. Other than that, I just loved the meeting, and it was a very brilliant topic about ego, and hopefully we have learned a lot from it. So that's it from me. I would like to hand this meeting over to our always pumped up and always motivational President Toastmaster Asan Akram. Over to you, Toastmaster Asan.
Thank you so much, Atif, for a great evaluation. Seb, are the results ready? If there's some time, we can talk about it.
Toastmaster Hassan. We have to do a vote for the big three.
Oh, sorry.
So,
yeah.
So I'm just generating a link. Meantime, the people who hasn't voted for the best evaluator, please, I request to vote.
Meanwhile, he's preparing. Definitely, there are a few things which I would like to highlight. Number one, when it comes to evaluation or any contest, make sure that you take care of the time, because it's very crucial. We have been seeing in the past there are a few speakers who actually delivered great speeches, but due to time, they were disqualified. So we need to work on that. So time is something which we all need to manage. The best way to actually manage is when you're preparing a speech, as I always say, just turn on the laptop and open the camera and consider that it's a meeting going on, and deliver a speech with proper actions and everything, and watch again yourself. Even you can watch that recording to someone in your family, in your friend circle. For those who haven't actually attended the meeting in the morning of the champion of public speaker ability, she told that she has a Google form where when she writes the speech, she actually shared that form with different people and asked for their opinion. And she specifically mentioned in the morning that the reason why she actually won that contest is because that's a collective effort of people around her who actually put some value in actually making her speech more good. So always record yourself. When you record yourself, the good part is you automatically see how much time you're consuming. You can see your weak areas, how you can improve, and you can show that video to your mentor, because right now we are busy, we don't have time to set up a meeting. So you can send that recording to your mentor and ask for his opinion. So that's the best way to actually improve yourself, and of course to actually manage your time. So that's something which I would encourage everyone to practice this, because that's where you can actually learn two things in a way. All right, so yes, Atif, you have raised a hand.
Toastmaster Hassan, I have a question regarding the time in evaluations. I've never had a physical evaluation contest, and when we are writing notes, I'm not sure how that works. I mean, if you can share how much time we have to write notes or what happens with that, because I'm not sure about it.
Are you talking about the evaluation time? Wait, Akash raised his hand. I think he wants to answer. Yes, Akash. You're muted, Akash.
You're muted.
You're muted.
So Toastmaster Atif, that is a very good question. You will be allotted 5 minutes. As per my understanding, you will be allotted 5 minutes to jot down your notes. And after 5 minutes, you will not be given any grace time. The sergeant at arms will come and will take the notes from you. So your time allotted will be 5 minutes.
Okay, and we'll get the notes only when we are going on stage. Is that right? When they take our notes, we will get the notes before going on stage.
Yes. You will given notes when you are actually evaluating. Yes.
Okay.
Atif, we'll do one more thing, because since Akash is senior and he knows all the rules, we'll have an educational session separately, other than this meeting, or maybe in the next meeting, where Akash will actually guide us about all the rules and everything. That would really help us all. What do you think?
Yeah, that will be great.
Yep, perfect. All right, so it's time for the results. So what do you think is going to win the best table topic award today? Any guesses?
Asan Akram.
Awesome.
Toastmaster Anam.
Toastmaster Anam.
All right, all right. All right, Swip, share the results. Oh, it's me. Second consecutive time, right? Thank you so much, everyone who voted for me. All righty. So next is Best Prepared Speaker Award. And any guesses for that?
Toastmaster Umar.
Toastmaster Umar, I think.
Raheb, reveal the results.
Oh,
And
yes. Thanks. Thank you.
I would like to say something about this speech today. When Umar started the speech, I was shocked. Is it the same Umar we used to see when he was here for the first? I still remember, and I always tell him the same thing, that when he was here for the first time, he was literally looking down. He wasn't facing the audience. And today, he actually, swapped the role of two people. And I mean, it looks like that he became a pro when it comes to public speaking. So kudos to your efforts. Umar, you have the tendency to win the contest even. I mean, you have transformed into a great speaker in no time. So a
Goes
round
to
of
all
applause
of
and
you.
kudos.
Goes to all of you. Not possible because you guys have and motivation. Thank you.
Very nice. Give it up. Right. So next we have the Best Evaluator Award. And any guesses for that? Oh, you have revealed it already. Atif, you actually introduced me in a very powerful way, and see, I got 2 awards today. Thank you so much, everyone. Alrighty, next we have PEG 3 Award and
Toastmaster Swaip.
none other than very nice. I think Swaip, you can stop sharing the screen so that we can take a group photo. And surprisingly, we finished before time. So if anyone wants to say anything, I mean, we still have 7 minutes. Anyone wants to say anything, share anything, I mean, you can do that.
Maybe no one's a Batuni Pagal.
Akash, you want to say anything or you want to share anything if you would like? Any tip for the contest coming up?
Yes, contest, there are 4 contests. Table topic contest, the tips I've already shared about the table topic contest. And please do remember that start reading the judges ballot from now, because that's very important. That's a very basic mistake. Another thing I would like to suggest is that for example, there is evaluation contest, right? So what we do that we have only 3 minutes, right? And whenever we come to stage, we lose the first I guess 40 to 50 seconds, almost 1 minute, in praising, thank you, Mr. Contest Chair, for this wonderful introduction and all that stuff. And they don't have any marks. So by saying this, you are losing your time and you are losing the precious points. So that's what I would like to suggest, that when you are in the contest, for example, it's an evaluation contest and the contest chair asks you to come on the stage, just start, thank you, Madam Contest Chair, and immediately start your evaluation. Don't take too long to to thank the contest chair and saying the unnecessary stuff. So that is the thing which the members of RTC can work on. And as far as tall tale contest is related, what I would suggest, that before crafting your tall tale, first you have some basic knowledge of storytelling, right? So how to create a plot, who should be the villain, and all that stuff. So you should have some basic knowledge of storytelling. As far as prepared speech contest is related, again, that what I would suggest to all the contestants, that start drafting your speech now, right? because that in my experience, that is the another, again, a basic mistake. Then that the contest is approaching and we have only 2 or 3 days left and we start crafting a speech. So what happens is that we miss our delivery rehearsal part. That is the main thing. So हम बस आखिरी 2-3 दिनों में वो लिख रहे होते हैं और उसको प्रैक्टिस नहीं किया होता है, and we go on the stage and we start delivering, and there we lose marks. So what I would suggest, that start crafting your speech, right? And that speech should have all the elements of winning speech, right? हम जो नॉर्मल क्लब्स की मीटिंग में आके दे रहे होते हैं, जो कॉन्टेस्ट की स्पीच होनी चाहिए वो थोड़ी सी मुख्तलिफ और वो सही, you have to give बेस्ट इन दैट स्पीच. सो उसमें भी ये है कि आपका बड़ा एक वेल क्राफ्टेड होनी चाहिए स्पीच. मैं तो आपको सबको ये मशवरा दूंगा कि उसको क्राफ्ट करें बकायदा, उसको ऐसे ना छोड़ें कि बस अपने माइंड में मेंटल मैप बना दिया. दिस इज जब आप क्राफ्ट करते हैं उसमें आप डिफरेंट टेक्निक्स यूज करते हैं, कौन सा लफ्ज इस्तेमाल करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू वांट टू इवोक इमोशन इन द ऑडियंस माइंड, यू आर यूजिंग दैट वर्ड्स, आई वाज सैड, उस टाइम आप जब वो जो लफ्ज हो रहे होते हैं ना, जब आप क्राफ्ट कर रहे होते हैं, तब आपको वो तब आपको स्पेसिफिक आइडिया होता है, ठीक है, और आपने ट्रांजिशन किस तरह से करना है. तो उसमें ये होता है कि आपकी स्पीच बाकायदा स्ट्रक्चर हो जाती है, क्राफ्ट हो जाती है, और जितना आप उसको रिहर्स करते हैं उतना आप बेस्ट होते हैं. एक अच्छी स्पीच में कहता हूँ, वो एक सही पक्की स्पीच, वेल रिहर्स स्पीच वो होती है कि कोई आपको सोते हुए भी उठा दे ना, टोस्ट मास्टर आकाश सोते हुए उठा दे, एंड यू स्टार्ट डिलीवरिंग दैट स्पीच परफेक्टली. सो अक्सर लोगों को भूलने का इशू होता है, and that's what we faced in the last contest. I was the president at that time. So मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि आप स्पीच क्राफ्ट करें, अभी से करें, उसको छोड़े मत के अब स्पीच कॉन्टेस्ट आ रहा है, हम आखिरी 2-3 दिन में कर लेंगे. सो यही इशू होता है दैट हम स्पीच भूल जाते हैं. उसको स्पीच लिख के 2 हफ्ते पहले लिखी होनी चाहिए, और उसको बार बार ना, जिस तरह आप रोज खाना खा रहे होते हैं ना, एक मामूल आपका होता है खाना, सुबह दिन शाम, तो उसी तरह आप उसको प्रैक्टिस का मामूल बना दें. सो दैट इज फ्यू टिप्स फ्रॉम माय साइड. बाकी इंशाल्लाह मैं आपके साथ शेयर करता रहूंगा, मेरे पास जो भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स वगैरह भी होंगे वो मैं आप लोगों के साथ शेयर करता रहूंगा.
Perfect. All right. I think it was a good meeting and with a lot of tips and great teamwork. So let's have a group photo and then I'm going to join this meeting. So,
Toastmaster Hassan, before moving for the group photo, we have a guest who just joined just 5 minutes back. We can take feedback or his introduction.
I don't see any yet. I don't see any guests here.
I can see Vakas
That was Toastmaster.
That's me, Rabia Tareq.
That's her husband name.
Okay.
Can't you see her video?
Yes. I got confused. I thought that maybe some guest has joined.
I got disconnected when I joined it. I couldn't rename myself. Sorry.
Also confused me when I got the fee from Rabia. I forgot who's that person who sent me the fee and he's a member. I couldn't recall. It took me a day to find. Oh, okay, she was the one.
All right.
Hassan, just another thing came into my mind. आप जब कॉन्टेस्ट की स्पीच लिख रहे हो ना, उसको समझे कि ये एक धागा है, ठीक है, और लफ्जों को, अपने मैसेज को उस धागे में पिरोएं, ठीक है. सो मिसाल के तौर पर इफ यू हैव, आपने, ठीक है, आप, अच्छा, उसमें ना आपने ये भी करना है कि आपने अपना टाइम करना है. मिसाल के तौर पर आपका ओपनिंग 1 से 1.5 मिनट लेगी, 100 से 150 लफ्ज इसकी आपकी ओपनिंग है. देन अगर आप बॉडी बना रहे हैं ना, बॉडी के 3 पॉइंट्स हैं, बॉडी अगर आपका 1.5 मिनट ले रहा है, बॉडी के 3 पॉइंट्स 1.5 मिनट ले रहे हैं, यू हैव 3 स्टोरीज फॉर एग्जांपल, देन टेक दैट पॉइंट ऑफ बॉडी एज अ मिनी स्पीच. हर एक जो बॉडी का पॉइंट है, दैट इज आल्सो अ मिनी स्पीच इन इटसेल्फ. उसकी भी अपनी एक ओपनिंग होनी चाहिए और उसकी भी अपनी एक क्लोजिंग होनी चाहिए, ठीक है. और वही मैसेज दूसरे पॉइंट में भी हो, और फिर उन्हीं पॉइंट्स को क्लोजिंग को रिलेट करके आप अपनी एंड की एक क्लोजिंग बना सकते हैं। मैं आपको इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि वो एक धागा चल रहा है, उसी में आपने लफ्जों को पिरोया हुआ है। So you can, for the contest speech, you can start crafting your speech with this mentality. So मेरे ज़हन में आ गया, I thought I should share with you.
Well, thank you so much for that. It was a great tip, and I hope बाकी इससे learn करेंगे. All right, so let's have a group photo, and then I'm going to adjourn this meeting. So say Bashir.
Bashir.
All right, thank you so much, Ivan. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.